Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this lesson, There's No Truth in the Land. And what land? This land, America. There is absolutely no truth in this land. And according to the Bible, according to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, the God of Israel, the God of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and to the Israelites that are scattered into all nations across the world that look like the other nations. There's no truth in the land. You know, we're in these latter days, and people people are actually teaching their kids to lie. It's okay to lie. To not be upstanding and to be men pleasers. Men pleasers. And we have that in this time right now. That there's a lot of men pleasing. There's no truth. I'm gonna go with him, because of the fame and popularity, and I have to keep my standard of living. So no matter what, I'm gonna go against the truth just to maintain my standard of living. There's no truth in the land. The parents here in Babylon, America, they're not Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you're not opening up the book, the Bible. You're not trying to teach your kid no verses, no book, chapter, verse. You're not explaining to them, who is the Lord, who is his people, the holy days. You're teaching your kids, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, 2/3 of you, you're teaching your kids to celebrate the holidays. You're not teaching your kids to celebrate holy days. You're teaching them of the world. And the Lord told you too, whoso be a friend of the world is an enemy to my Father. If you're a friend of this world, then the Lord YAHAWAHSHI is telling you, you are an enemy. You're an enemy to his Father. And then, people try to go to, John 3:16. The Lord for so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Okay, well, the Lord said, I pray for them. I pray for them and not for the world. What does that mean? The Lord said, I pray for them. I don't pray for the world. See? You got all type of lies and sex scandals and the witchcraft and stuff going on in this world. And that them that he's praying for is the elect. The elect. The 144,000 and the 1/3. The elect. Out of the 12 lost tribes of Israel. This is who the Lord is coming back to save. This is who the Lord is coming back to deliver and give salvation to, is to the elect. Out of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, there is a remnant amongst these tribes, these people, this nation of Israel that the Lord is coming back to save. If you're not part of this 144,000 and the 1/3, the women and men that believe and have children, their families, then the men of the Lord, the prophets, the apostles, if you're not part of that number, there's no salvation for you. Because there's destruction coming to this world. There's none but evil. This place is going to be destroyed. And if you're of the other nations, there's no salvation for you. You are going to go into slavery. You're the way you other nations and Esau, Edom, these so-called white folks, these Caucasians, how they own everything, and they're in rulership. All this is going to be stripped from them. It's going to be completely stripped. Just like you make Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you're doing the construction. You're doing all the hardcore labor, the janitorial jobs, working at these fast food restaurants, working out there in the field from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Making $10 an hour. Why these so-called Caucasian white folks, they sit in the office in the cool air during the summer and don't do nothing except talk to their buddies about going to play golf and drink beer. All that's going to be removed. You're going to be stripped. You other nations, if you are not part of the nation of Israel, these 12 lost tribes, you're going into slavery. You are going into bondage, man. And you are going to serve Israel, and you're going to ultimately serve the Lord. You see? You see? This is the way it's going to go. I got a couple verses and I'm gonna close it. But there's no truth in this land. Just like they didn't for so long, they celebrate Christopher Columbus. But the Christopher Columbus Day, Independence Day, they don't break down these days and tell the children in school what really happened. There's no truth. They're not telling the truth on what Christopher Columbus did. You got your so-called presidents and that so-called White House, that whorehouse. They lie. They lie. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, they're all full of lies. And they're totally against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They're totally against you. That's why you'll never have rulership on this side, man. There's no CEOs, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You at the end of the day, you don't have the say so, man. You don't have the say so. You're not up there with the elites. You're not up there. You try to take your biggest celebrity, Jay-Z, LeBron James, they ain't shit, man, according to Esau. They ain't nothing, man. They got their little fame and their little $1 billion and $2 billion. That ain't nothing to these white folks, man. These white folks they got wealth and they ruled and they have rulership at the end of the day. That's what it's about, rulership. Not Jay-Z, LeBron James, none of you are dictating policy or controlling the government, nor do you have an army. Let's get to the scriptures. There's no truth, man. There's no truth. Jake got it messed up, man. Jake got it messed up. Matthew 15 and 11. Matthew 15 and 11. because a lot of people, and then you have mockers, man. You have a lot of mockers and scorners and scoffers. You know, they come on the comment board. The men of the Lord are out there on the highways and hedges, you know, and people are mocking and laughing at these so-called Hebrew, at the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the tribes, opening up this book and reading to you and breaking down these verses, because the Lord has put the spirit on a selective men that are truthfully and sincerely bringing out the scriptures. You see, it says Matthew 15:11, and it reads, "Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man." The Lord said, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man. It ain't what you put in your mouth that defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. You see? So what comes out of your mouth, that's what defiles you. You see? And a lot of men, what comes out of their mouth, it defiles you. You totally, you mock the men of the Lord. You talk bad. You say some old evil, wicked stuff. Some evil, wicked stuff. Some of the stuff that comes out of your especially you, Jake, that comes out of your hot, filthy mouth, 2/3 of you. Ooh, boy, you got a nasty mouth, nasty. You ain't no child of the Lord. You ain't this, you ain't that. That's what Jake goes into. To so far, I'll kill you. That's what Jake say. Or F your mother. Jake, 2/3 of Jake, they go, they get extreme with it. Jake's mouth is tainted, and ultimately too, Esau and these other nations, you so-called white folks, and you Arabics, and your mouth is tainted because you lie. But the Lord said, but that which cometh out of the mouth of, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. So what you say out of your mouth, it defileth you. And see, the Lord also said too, a fool's mouth is his destruction. See, you have to watch your choice of words. Watch your mouth. The Lord said the tongue is full of, what do you say? Roughly paraphrasing, it is full of deadly poison. Who can tame it? Who can tame that tongue? Nobody. That tongue is tainted. It's defiled. Especially you 2/3 Jake women, you Negro women, you got a bad mouth. That mouth. And this is what that mouth destroyeth a lot of your marriages and your relationships, because your mouth, you can't keep that mouth closed. You so-called Negro women, ultimately, 2/3 of you Negro women, your mouth is so bad. Your mouth is bad. And this is gonna be your destruction because of your mouth. The Lord, I'll read it one more time. But that which, I'll read the reverse again. It says, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Let's go to Jeremiah 23. Jeremiah 23. Jeremiah 23:10, and it reads, Jeremiah 23:10, and it reads, for the land is full of adulterers. For the land is full of adulterers, and this land is full of adulterers, man. This place is filled to the top with adulterers. You got married men sleeping with married women. You got married women sleeping with married men. That's adultery. That's adultery. That's breaking the law of the Lord. Married men sleeping with married women. Married women sleeping with married men. You see, that's adultery. Now, if a man is married and he meets a woman and she's not married, and sex is marriage. Sex is marriage. See, a lot of Christians and Catholics and Jehovah Witnesses, you know, they believe they believe in their heart that sex is fornication, and you have to have a ceremony with the ring and all that. Where does that say that in the Bible? You have to have a ceremony, you have to put a ring on her finger, and you can only be with one woman. No, that's not according to the Lord. A man, a married man of the Lord, he can have, if that woman that he meets, if she's not married, because we're trying to do the best that we can to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in our captivity. We can't keep all the laws perfectly. It's impossible, because the Lord told you a foolish thought is a sin. So everybody has foolish thoughts. The Lord done made it like that. Everybody has foolish thoughts. That's everybody. You see a woman and she might be with her man, her husband, and you think like, ooh, and she's beautiful, she has a nice body, and you automatically think, and that tail, that butt that you see is big, and you like, man, and you already having those thoughts of like, you're going off. So you can't keep these laws perfectly, but you can rehearse them and try your best to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. But if a married man, married man, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you men, if you're married and you meet a woman and she's not married, say she's divorced, and say she got 2 kids. But she ain't with her husband no more. She's divorced. She ain't got no man, none of that. And you meet her, and things go on. That's not adultery. That's not adultery. Because like I said, we're trying to keep the best, the ability to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord understands that and knows that. The Lord told you, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the good and evil. You see? The Jake men can have other women, long as they're not married. But like I said, sex is marriage. But we can't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments we can't keep them 100%. The Lord understands that. And when we get into the kingdom, it ain't going to be none of this. She slept with him and got a kid by him. She slept with him and got a kid by him. They're not together no more, because ultimately at the end of the day, they are that woman that had that kid by that man. That's her husband. But here we are in captivity. So, the Lord understands this. But just going off to do, I'm married and she's married and I'm still trying to have sex with her, and I do have sex with her. That's adultery. The Lord sees that. That's adultery. That woman is married. She got a husband and a family, and you still trying to sleep with her, and you do sleep with her. Now you're going off. That's adultery. You see? Let me go to let me continue in 10. Jeremiah 23:10, and it reads, "For the land is full of adulterers, for because of swearing the land mourneth. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their courses is evil, and their force is not right." You see? And And this is what's going on in this land. You got all from the elites, from the government officials down to the poorest people. They're committing adultery. They're lying. You know, they're not speaking the truth of the Lord. You know, this is what they're doing. And then ultimately, this is to Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This is to you. You see, you're polluted, eating all the pork. You know, you're putting your kids through the fire and celebrating Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, all these pagan holidays. You see, you're just not right. You go to church on Sunday, then you come out of church, you know, and come home and eat, and you're eating bacon and, pork, ham sandwiches, you know, eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. You're going off. You ain't right. Let's go to Hosea. Hosea, Hosea 4 and 6. Hosea 4 and 6, and it reads, my people, who you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I also will reject thee. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten thy law of YAHAWAHSHI. I will also forget thy children. See, in this time of trouble that's coming, with this famine, this war, this destruction and pestilence and civil unrest, in this time of trouble that's coming, Jacob's trouble, because Jacob's trouble is for Jacob, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This is for 2/3 of Jake, because you don't listen. Why? Because you rejected knowledge. You reject this word of the Lord, and you reject your heritage. So the Lord said, I will also forget you, and I will also forget thy children. You see, call Allah Yamla Yahweh BASHAM YAHWAHSHI. Let's go to 2nd Chronicles. I got a couple more and I'm gonna close out. 2nd Chronicles 36 and 16, and it reads, but they mocked the messengers of Yahweh BASHAM YAHWAHSHI and despised his word. See, you got these mockers coming on a comment board. You got mockers out there on the highways and hedges, and they mock the men of the Lord. They mock the Lord, talking about their King David, Malak Dawada, King David, or that they're claiming to be Yahweh BASHAM YAHWAHSHI, the Savior. Dressing up and pretending and mocking the Hebrew Israelites, speaking and trying to be funny, rejecting and saying the Esau Edom is done away with, just mocking. The Lord said, but they mocked the messengers of Yahweh BASHAM YAHWAHSHI. The men of the Lord, the Lord has set up the real men in these latter days to preach this word, to bring out these book, chapter, verse, and break it down, starting with the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and the prophets on down. The Lord has set up real teachers. You see, the truth is out there. You see. It says, but they mocked the messengers of Yahweh BASHAM YAHWAHSHI and despised his words. You see, they despised these words. The real men of the Lord are trying to tell you about the high holy days. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. You see, that's why the Lord said they polluted my Sabbaths. They don't want to hear this. You want to celebrate the pagan days, but you don't. Here it is in the Bible. The apostles and the elders and prophets are breaking it down to you about the holy days to celebrate, but you're rejecting the Lord's holy days. They despise his words and misused his prophets until the wrath until the wrath of YAHAWAHSHI arose against his people till there was no remedy. And let me show you what this wrath is coming. And the Lord said it's going to be a snare upon the whole world. And 2/3 of his people is going to be cut off and die. Let's go to 2 Peter. Let's go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter 3 and 10, and it reads, I'll close out with this. Because this is, at the end of the day, through all this, this is what's coming at the end. And ain't no escaping this judgment. Ain't nobody in this world except the elect is going to escape this judgment. And to those that the Lord want to keep alive to bring into slavery into the kingdom from the other nations. Outside of that, you won't escape this. It says 2 Peter 3 and 10, and it reads, But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. While everybody's so focused on trying to, build their business and their marketing plans and, stack their bread and chase the bag and trying to make albums from here all the way to 100 years old, making all type of crazy music and, trying to build something for their children on this land. The Lord said, but the day of YAHAWAHSHI, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, a thief in the night. You're not going to know when this comes. You're not going to know, and you're going to get caught off guard. As a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Those ICBM nuclear weapons are coming, those missiles. And the elements shall melt. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Shalom.